Well, hello and welcome to this special webinar from Cricket Wales. We're calling it a Cricket Wales Conversation. And we're talking today about how we can make our cricket clubs, the length and breadth of the country, more inclusive and more welcoming so that everyone can enjoy the game that we love. And we have assembled today a couple of panels from every part of Wales for people who are doing special things at their clubs, who've tried new things to make sure that new people can try the game and stay playing cricket. And they've got really great stories to tell. So without further ado, we'll get on with our first panel. And we've got four assembled guests. I'm going to ask them each to introduce themselves and tell us which cricket club they're from and what they do there. So let's start off with Harvard to my right.
Hi, I'm Harv from Carmel District Cricket Club up in North Wales. I'm the ladies captain and All-Stars coach, ladies coach, juniors coach.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lucy from Panteg Cricket Club in Pontypool. I'm women's co-captain and safeguarding officer.
Very good. And one of your teammates.
Hi, I'm Erin Roberts from Panteg Cricket Club as well. I play for the women's team. I coach the girls team. I'm on the committee as well.
Great. Busy.
Yes.
And finally.
Hi, I'm Rachel from Cricket Wales. I'm the Women and Girls Development Officer and Girls Pathway Lead covering North and Mid Wales.
Very good. Well, it's great to have you all here. Thanks very much for coming along today. And Harv, if I could start with you. So you're at Carmel in North East Wales and you wear a number of different hats there. So the ladies captain, but also coach in the girls section. So tell me about the growth of women and girls cricket at your club, because it's a really big part, it seems, of what the club is about these days.
Yeah, it's a massive part of what the club's about. I wasn't lucky enough to be there at the beginning of it, so I managed to walk in and see the amazing things that they've started to do. From the juniors, we had a girls team, an all-girls team that's come up through starting to play hardball now, which is really great, and hopefully they'll flow into the ladies team. And our ladies team is growing. You know, I wish it would be a bit quicker, but we're getting there with it.
So how many players do you have at the moment? And I guess you've got all these great young players coming through the pathway too.
Yeah, so in the club, there's probably about 30 women and girls, you know, with a lot more from All-Stars and Dynamos coming through this season. Our juniors are staying at the club. We're moving them up, hoping to see them in the second 11, the first 11 in the future.
Fantastic. And how's that been? I mean, how does it feel to have a kind of a really thriving section? What's been the key, do you think, to keep things growing there?
I think just being proactive, making sure that it's fun, that they want to keep coming back, I think is a massive thing. You know, in a lot of girls' sports, it's keeping the friend group engaged. And that's definitely something that our chairman, Allan, has been very, very keen on doing, is keeping everybody, you know, once we've got them, don't let them go type vibes.
Yeah, great. So friendship, a really, really important thing. Well, that's really interesting. So let's come a little bit further south then to Panteg Cricket Club. And Lucy, nice to see you. So tell us about what your involvement is at the club. What are you involved in week to week?
Training the women as co-captain. I feel, following on from what Harv said, it's really important to be welcoming. So we hopefully will have a few more women coming this season. There's about 30 women with us at the moment, so trying to organise us into teams and making that teamwork work. Teamwork is the dream work, as they say.
And how did you get involved in the first place?
That would be thanks to my partner, Erin. It was a couple of years ago now, I believe, three years ago.
It was 2021.
You've written that down. You know exactly what date it was.
Yes, so Erin invited me along to play cricket, and I'd never held a cricket bat or a ball in my life. And I said, "Are you sure you want me to come? I'm not the person." "Yes, come along, have a go, it's fun." And I did, and I've never looked back.
So were you surprised that you liked it? I mean, what did you think cricket was before you tried it for the first time?
To be honest, I didn't really know what I was letting myself in for, but it was the fun element that done it for me. And then playing with there was only a few of us at the time, wasn't it? So just playing with a few women, having a good giggle, having a laugh, that's what kept me coming back.
Fantastic. So fun, the key to all of this. Now, you clearly helped to create a fun atmosphere. So what was the key to that for you?
Well, I can't take the credit for it really, because it was our chairman, Richard Jeffries, and some of the other coaches. They decided that they wanted to have a women's section because they wanted to make the club more of a family club. They had actually put out a bit of a request really to have some ladies to volunteer to go for a bit of a photo shoot. And my husband is friends with Richard from school, and he said, "Oh, Erin will do it." I thought, "Oh, thanks for that," where I didn't have a clue. I've never played cricket before. But I dragged Lucy along with me for moral support, and we went and we had some photos taken. I think Lucy said, it was the first time of actually holding a cricket bat. But we enjoyed it. We went along to the training sessions, then joined in with festivals. It was so much fun. We wanted to carry on. So we got all our friends and family members involved as well, and we started playing festivals, then the league, then 2 teams in the league. And like Lucy said, we've got about 30 women now, and we had our first hardball team in the league last year.
Wow, fantastic. So you've really taken some big steps forward.
Yeah.
And cricket can sometimes have this reputation of being a bit stuffy or old-fashioned or complicated even, and technical, and you need to know lots of rules and the laws of the game. I mean, did that put you off at all? How did you kind of get to know the sport in a way that didn't put you off in any way?
Well, I think it helped the coaches. They didn't go in thinking that they were going to be coaching women who had been playing since they were little. Like, some of the men's teams, they've been playing for years, so they already have that knowledge of cricket. They started with us, and this might sound a bit strange, but as though we were kids, really. It was a bit like the All-Stars and Dynamo sessions, but that was a good thing because it made it fun. It meant that it didn't matter whether we had the ability. It was for everybody, so we gave it a go, and the more we trained and played, the better we got and the more confident we got, and we started learning the technical things then as well. And we even went on to the coaching courses. So Lucy and I, and one of our other women, Poppy as well, we've all done our cricket coaching.
Fantastic.
Level, I can't remember what it is
level
because
one,
it's
is
changed.
It's
level one. It's not the advanced one, but we're core.
Foundation coach or core coach?
We've done the core.
Core coach, brilliant. Great, excellent, very good. Well, that sounds brilliant. I mean, and by playing the game, you've learned in a fun way without really noticing you're learning, I suppose, is what you're saying there. And Rachel, you work for Cricket Wales, and one of the many things you do is to try and, I guess, help clubs to be welcoming and inclusive and have a really strong offer for women and girls. What are the things that you say to clubs about how they should approach things to make sure that it's a place that women and girls really want to come and play?
I think for clubs that are starting new, I think one of the main things I'd say is obviously you want your facilities and things to make a good first impression, so women feel welcome when they're coming in. But that fun element of it is really, really important. You could have the nicest clubhouse in the world, but if people come and don't enjoy the session, they're not going to come back. So many women's teams that we've seen have started through people already involved at the club, whether that's parents or partners of people that are at the club. They're sitting there in the sun on a Friday night and have decided to give it a go themselves. Next thing, they've enjoyed it so much that they're dragging their neighbours, their sisters, their mums, their daughters and everyone they know along, which is where so many women's clubs have started from now. And it does all come down to that fun element. People enjoy it so much that they want other people to enjoy it and get that experience as well.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, of course.
Because Rachel just mentioned about dragging their neighbours along, and actually in Panteg, both my neighbours from either side of me play cricket with us. So yeah, they do literally drag their neighbours along.
Wow, that's brilliant. You're a true cricket evangelist. That's amazing. Oh, very, very good. And you were talking about it being fun and just an enjoyable place for women to come to. Part of that is about organising great sessions that are just fun to do, I guess. But what about the environment of the club? I mean, you mentioned the loos or things like that. I mean, does that matter?
I think to an extent, yes. Obviously, it's not the be-all and end-all, but for so many women, if you go to a club and everything is designed for men, I mean, most women have experienced some point in their life when they've done something, whether that's in sport or outside of sport, and everything has been designed for men or not for them. So things like having the toilets that are the ladies' toilets aren't an afterthought and they're just as nice. Things like having bins, sanitary products, all that sort of stuff, just make women know that when they come to a facility that they have been thought of and it is a place where they can come and they feel more welcome. So little touches like that really do make a difference for women going into a new environment for the first time.
Yeah, how have you guys managed that at your clubs?
Well, you talking about the little touches last season, and I'm sure you won't mind me saying, I brought along some artificial flowers and a vase, and I put that in the changing rooms along with a pillow and some gold cut-out butterflies that were all on the wall. So, talk
and that's
about
just
inclusion.
about making the pavilion, the club, just a nice place to be, just a more
Absolutely.
enjoyable place for families to go to and to hang out and spend a bit of time there.
It was enjoyed by all.
Lovely, very good, Willie. Fake flowers, maybe that's the key. Fantastic. Harv, you've also been involved in girls' cricket as well. And tell us, what has been the key in your experience in coaching girls to help them feel that cricket is a sport for them?
I think coaching girls and boys is completely different. I think boys are very outcome-based, whereas girls love to know the process and why they're doing something. I think if you show them why something is important, they're so much more engaged and they're really ready to put that into action. I think that the focus on outcome is something definitely to move away from, especially with the girls that we've got at our club. They want to know that if they're doing something the right way, then the outcome will follow. That it's not all about winning and being the best. It's about doing the best that you can do, and then the results will follow.
Yeah, that's interesting because your teams are winning matches, aren't they? And they're playing in a boys' league as well and doing all right and holding their own.
Yeah, they're definitely holding their own. When you watch them play, you're not watching a girls' team. You're just watching a cricket team. And I think that's the biggest compliment you can pay to them.
Yeah, really good. And you've talked a lot about friendship as well and that sense of belonging and community. So, I mean, how do you build that? I'm interested to know kind of how you set about doing that. Is there a social aspect beyond the cricket, or I wonder what you emphasise to make sure that people really enjoy coming? Who's going to take that one?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a social side of it. I think actually when we first started, the men were very good at making sure that we were included. So one of our very first social events involved us. I think that the brief was that you had to spend £10 in the charity shop and buy an outfit for a person whose name you'd picked out of a hat. So we all went along to the club dressed in these lovely outfits, looking fabulous. And we all had a really good time together, the men and the women together. So that I think helped as well. And since then we've had quite a few socials. So it's definitely part of it. It's not just about cricket. It's about making friends and enjoying your time with your team, whether you're on the pitch or elsewhere.
Yeah, and so a sense of family, is that right? I mean,
Absolutely.
I guess children are coming along to these sessions and they're in the evening as well. And I guess maybe there's men's matches that finish and you all end up together as one cricket family in the clubhouse, I guess.
It's exactly that, a cricket family. I feel very fortunate through meeting the women who have participated and joined the team. I can now call them family friends, friends of the family. My children, they'll play cricket with their children, and it's not just about the cricket. On a weekend we'll go to the park. So it's that community feel, it's that sense of belonging, which I think is really important. And
you mentioned, Lucy, as well, one of the things that you said was about how you had noticed that some of the girls who were coming along to sessions at the club were from the Welsh medium primary school near to where you live. And so you speak Welsh, and it felt important for you to include Welsh in some of the coaching sessions. Can you tell me a little bit about that and sort of how that worked and why you felt that was a good thing to do to help players belong?
Absolutely. I was covering one of Erin's sessions for the All Stars and Dynamos, and I noticed there was a few girls, more than half, who were able to speak Welsh. I knew that they attended the Welsh primary school, so I asked them, I was like, shall we have a session in Welsh? And the answer was yes, I do. So there was a few who spoke English. They didn't mind. I was switching back from the Welsh and to the English. And it was really nice to coach throughout the medium of Welsh. And, for those English-speaking children as well, to hear that and just be familiar and not just to relate that Welsh is taught in school and that's only where you hear it. No, you will hear it out in the wider community. So yeah, it was a fantastic opportunity.
That's really great. And Rachel, you're a Welsh learner.
Yeah.
Tell us what your motivation was for learning Welsh.
I think, I'm Welsh and I'm very proud to be Welsh, but can't speak the language. That's always been something that I've wanted to be able to do. And now in my role covering such a kind of vast area across North and Mid Wales, there's a lot of communities I work with who are Welsh first language and could go weeks on end without speaking English in some of the Welsh communities. So if I'm going into these places and trying to convince these people to give cricket a go, especially women and girls and teenage girls who, can feel embarrassed very easily and not want to try new things, then I feel like if I can go in there and push myself out of my comfort zone and try, and I'm nowhere near delivering a whole session in Welsh, but if I can get bits of Welsh in there and they see that, I'm giving something a go that I might not be brilliant at, and, hopefully one day I will be good at it, that they might feel more comfortable to give cricket a go and push themselves out of their comfort zone as well. And just little things like speaking, even if it's just tiny bits in their first language, makes them feel more comfortable in those sessions, which is what we all want as coaches, is for players to feel comfortable within our sessions.
Yeah, that's really interesting, and I guess it may not be obvious to all of us who are watching this, but what difference does that make to the individual player if they can have that coaching session delivered to them in their heart language, their first language?
I think it's like we've said about that sense of belonging and community and feeling at home. I think for anyone, if you said go and try something new, which you've not done before, and then do it in a language which isn't your first language, I would feel really intimidated by that. So just making them feel more comfortable. If we're asking them to try something new, I think being as approachable as we can as coaches and making them players feel as comfortable as possible is key to getting the best out of players, whether that's experienced players or people brand new to the sport.
And there are other things that clubs can do. I mean, a lot of clubs now are busy on social media and posting. Are there other simple things that clubs could do, maybe just to show that they want to be inclusive, even around the language, that if you are a first language Welsh speaker, you're really welcome, and we'd be, the club would be happy to sort of to speak Welsh and to be inclusive in that way?
I think, like you mentioned, social media, I think that's a key part of it, but it's also one of the easier ways, because speaking Welsh kind of face to face, if you're not a fluent speaker, is you've not got any time to react. Whereas on social media, putting your posts out bilingually might take a few minutes longer to write them, but you're opening yourself up to much more, like more newer communities and stuff as well. So I think anything like that to make your club more inclusive, whether that's signage, social media, newsletters, things like that, if we can put them bilingual, then that's a great start to being more inclusive.
Yeah, really, really helpful. Great. Well, we've been chatting for about 15 minutes or so now. So what I'd like to do, just to wrap up this little section, is to ask you each individually about one thing that you, from your experience, that you think you would encourage another club to do that would make a real difference in particularly helping women to feel comfortable, and that your cricket club is for them. So should we start down the end with Rachel? Go on, Rachel. What's one thing that a club could do to really make sure their offer for women is really good?
And making sure that women know they're included when they walk in, whether that's pictures on the walls or making sure the toilets are clean and there's things like bins in the toilets. Just making sure that women know they're not an afterthought when they walk in, and that cricket is a sport for them as much as it is for the men.
Thank you. What do you think?
I would say making it as fun as possible. Holding a festival. I think, once Panteg actually got the news out about the women, one of the first things they did was to hold a women's softball festival, and it was really successful, and it meant that people could come along, have a go, and if they liked it, then come to training sessions.
Yeah, fantastic. Keep it fun. What do you think, Lucy?
Yeah, following on from what Erin said, just give it a go and get talking. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Like I said, I never held a cricket bat or a ball up until 3-4 years ago. So yeah, don't be afraid. The clubs are welcoming enough. We want you on the team. So yeah.
Brilliant. And we'll have final word to you, Harv. What would you say?
I couldn't agree more with anything that's been said. I think just give it a real go. There's nothing worse than a false offer. Mean it, include everyone, and just try. I would say just give it a go.
Well, thank you very much, all four of you, for sharing your stories and your insights. That's been really, really useful and very thought-provoking, and I'm sure that will help a lot of people in clubs right across the country. So thank you very much indeed. So that brings to an end our first panel. We're going to be back shortly with a second panel. We'll be looking at some of the other issues about inclusivity and making people feel welcome at cricket clubs across Wales. So stay tuned, and we'll be back with you very shortly. Well, Graham, tell us how you got involved in disability cricket at Colwyn Bay.
My young son at that time, 10 years ago, was a very, very sporty young man. My son is neurodivergent, but also has a learning disability. And we were looking at what sport he could enjoy and participate in. I have to say, cricket did not enter my mind at that time, although I'd spent all my young years playing cricket. And for some reason, I thought football and rugby were better suited to him. When somebody basically knocked on my door and said, you should try him at cricket, we went along to a session that was being put on by a very, very good South Wales coach. We went along, and 10 years later, I found myself here now.
Wow. And so what was it about that session that you took your son along to that really captured his imagination and thought, well, this is something that you'd like to invest in as well?
I felt quite embarrassed that after playing 30 plus years of cricket, it never entered my mind that my son would enjoy it. And because of that, I absolutely just felt embarrassed because I felt as if I'd let him down. And the first session he went along to, it was obvious his hand-eye coordination, bowling, batting, his arm were all there, probably better than a lot of youngsters are generally. And I felt as if it's something's got to be done to carry it on. I did not found the max. I came along the max as a parent with my son. And to be honest with you, it's grown from there.
So Colwyn Bay Max is your club. Tell us what Max stands for and what the cricket offer is at Colwyn Bay.
Max is the mixed ability cricket section of Colwyn Bay Cricket. It's basically a disability team. It's pan disability, catering for all, obviously, basically accessible and abilities. Basically, what we do, we allow sort of youngsters from the age of 8 upwards who want to try out. They can come along and just train if they feel comfortable just training. But obviously, we encourage them to obviously increase and improve their core skills and then go into competition cricket.
And what are the sort of things that you have to think about to make sure that everyone who comes along can fully take part and enjoy playing cricket?
Well, we have to obviously make it fun. Make it sort of so they're all engaged all of the time. So obviously we have to cater for different abilities. And basically we adapt a lot of the drills to suit their needs. It's obviously coach ran, but player focused. And so basically we identify their needs and try to adapt the drills and the games to meet that criteria.
And as a coach, what sort of challenge does that present for you to make sure that there's something for everyone and everyone feels included?
Well, generally, you need a lot of support. You need a lot of support from the parents. You need a lot of support from fellow coaches around you. But don't get me wrong, I do make mistakes. And some of the drills we try out generally work really, really well. And then others not quite as well, and we have to tweak a few times. But that's all part of cricket anyway. So it's basically trying to identify the needs of the player and making sure that they have some sort of section within the drill that they're going to enjoy and excel at.
That's great. And how have the rest of the club embraced what you do with the Max team?
Well, to be honest with you, the Max are just part of the club. It's generally, Max players have gone on to play for the thirds, second team, and far, far higher than that. So generally, the Max are just part of the club. It's an inclusive club. So generally, the section isn't really considered, in my point of view, as a separate section. We are just part of Colwyn Bay Cricket Club.
And that's really interesting, you talking about the overlap between your sort of adult cricket teams and the Max team. So this is something that's bringing new players in who are playing for all sorts of different teams at the club by the sound of things.
Well, to be honest with you, we've brought in players from different areas as well to be part of the Max. But once they are part of the Max and they train, obviously we do train on a regular basis. We train weekly throughout the year. There's no break apart from Christmas and Easter. But they show the commitment and they reap the benefits of that commitment.
So go on then, Graham. Give us your golden tip then for any club who's watching this webinar and they're interested in creating new opportunities for disabled people to play at their club. What's one thing they could do that will make a really big difference to get things going?
Don't be worried about the facilities at the club. Disabled people will adapt if they want to be at that club. Obviously, disabled people enhance the club, the actual atmosphere of the club, but don't be overly biased about the facilities initially. That way you can always improve them. But generally, I do feel that work together as a region. I think on the last count, there's probably about 1 in 10 people have a disability. If every club goes out there to have a disabled team, it's not going to be advantageous. It's going to be counterproductive. So work together with fellow clubs within your area to try and make some sort of hub where all those clubs can contribute to that team. And that way you have an inclusive but basically fun section at a club. Even if that hub moves around the area, it doesn't matter. It's all about providing the opportunity for disabled people to play cricket.
Well, Graham, that's a great lesson, and I'm sure lots of clubs will really appreciate that advice. It's been great to speak to you. We wish you well, Graham, and good luck to everyone at Colwyn Bay for the season ahead as well. Well, welcome back. And as you can see, we have changed our panel. We have 3 more cricket leaders, really, people who lead at their cricket clubs, here to tell us about their experiences and how they're helping to create brilliant cricket opportunities for all sorts of different people at their club. So I'm going to ask them first to introduce themselves. I'm going to start on my left. So Alan, tell us who you are, what you do, and tell us a bit about your club.
My name's Alan. I'm with Carmel and District Cricket Club, which is a local village club in North Wales. I'm currently chairman, acting secretary, head of youth cricket, and coach and occasional player even now.
Lots of hats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. And now Sian.
I'm Sian from Skewing Cricket Club, which is based in South Wales. I've been involved in the club for many years as a junior parent, did the teas for many years for the senior sides, and then was asked to go to the AGM back in 2017 and left that AGM as club secretary. Wow. So I've been doing that now since 2017, co-secretary with my dad, who was a player and secretary for many years, for a couple of years to sort of guide me into the role while I was learning, and yeah, still doing it now.
Very good. And last but not least, on the end, Mumtaz.
Hello, my name is Mumtaz Hussain and I'm from Britain Ferry Town Cricket Club. I'm secretary and active player for the first team, second team and the midweek teams. So that's it.
Very good. Well, you're all very welcome. Lovely to have you all here. So, Mumtaz, let's start with you. Tell us about your club. Tell us about the player base and kind of what makes your club different and special.
Yeah. So mainly, our Britain Ferry Town Cricket Club is mainly from South Asian background. So we have most of the players from India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Afghanistan. So we are giving right opportunity to all the players who are actually from different parts of the world. And as we all know, cricket runs in our blood. So it's not just only cricket, we are like a family. And we play cricket throughout the whole 12 months of the year, not just during the season. We never stop. So we keep going. And recently we started our junior section as well with the boys and girls. And we are getting a lot of help from different community, from different community members, and it's not just only cricket. Yeah, like with the kids, they are loving each other. They are from different schools, from different countries, and they are getting to know each other very well, and they are loving it, and they are making new friends. So that's the Britain Ferry Town Cricket Club.
That sounds really special. And you're an old club, aren't you? Sort of in the 1800s, I think.
Yeah, It was established in 1881. So it's 144 years now, and it's been around there from many years, and I hope it will be there for another 150 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so I guess, I mean, obviously, lots has changed in 140 years, but I guess the club in recent years has gone through a lot of change as well. So tell me about how that happened. I guess because I'm sure that the communities in which the players are drawn from has changed quite a lot even in maybe the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah. So I joined Cricket Club in 2013, and I was new to Swansea, and I just came to know a lot of people through cricket. And this was my initial introduction with my local community and the people who are actually living in South Wales, and I loved it. And then from there, yeah, it was like taking one step ahead, and one step at a time, and just getting new players, getting involved with the committee, and that's how we evolved from like at one time we were struggling to actually have first team players, and now we have more than around about 40 players who actually put their availability for Saturday games, and we are running 2 successful teams for midweek, which I think like is a huge success for any club. Yes. To have so many members, and it's just like there are so many members of the club. They come from different aspect, like from different parts of the from the daily basis. Like some of the doctors, some of them are lecturers, some of them are accountants, yep. Some of them are taxi drivers, some of them are just like from different teachers. So we have all sort of players and students. So mainly we rely a lot of as well. Yeah, students as well.
All united by the love of cricket.
Yeah, all united.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, we'll drill into that a little bit more and find out how you've done that, because it does sound really fantastic. Yep. Sean, so you're not too far away, I guess, then in Skewen.
No.
And you're the secretary there. But tell me about how you came to be the secretary. What was your involvement with cricket, and how did that happen?
So historically, my dad was a player at Skewen, and he was on the committee and then secretary of the club for many years. And he wanted to take a backward step from the running of the club. So I don't know if it was ever his intention that I attended that EGM and came away as secretary. I'm not sure. But so then I did. And I was already doing a lot within the club. Yeah. Teas, being a junior parent. So yes, took on the role as secretary. I was co-secretary for a couple of years with my dad while I learned the role. And yeah, so that's where we are now. And then over the years, other responsibilities have come with it. I'm now on the bank account and trustee because we took a lease on for our ground, which we never thought would be an opportunity for our club because we are based in Coed Frank Town Council's a memorial park.
Yes.
We never thought we'd have a lease for our ground, but we did have one last year for 25 years. So that opens up opportunities for fundraising and for grant applications and things like that. And we've amalgamated with the football club as well.
Wow,
so
you have a lot to do.
We've got a lot of new players. We lost our junior section, but by joining All Stars and Dynamos, we have redeveloped our junior section, and we now have. We were a little ambitious initially. We sort of signed up for every age group. Then we went straight back to basics and sort of did an under 9s for a season, under 9s and 10s last year, and this year we've got under 9s, 10s and 11s. So we know we're building it up slowly, but we feel like we're getting there.
Very good. That sounds brilliant. And I'm interested to talk about what it's like to be a woman in leadership at a cricket club. Has that been, when you took on the role, was that challenging? Did you face any sense of resistance, or was that something that the rest of the committee members were used to?
It was kind of, as long as I was doing the job and getting on with things, it was fine. It did have some resistance, but I've overcome it, and I think I've sort of earned my position there now. Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'm really well supported by the current committee as well.
Yeah, and once you got into post, I mean, you said that you've been deeply involved in the cricket club in pretty much every way, probably apart from playing, by the sound of it.
Yeah.
And
I've never played.
So you had a lot of knowledge about how things worked and what the experience was to be a parent, for example, of a child playing at the club. So how did that help you then? And what experiences do you think that really helped you when you then moved into a decision-making role at the club?
I think behind the scenes there was always an element of decision making, and I think with any club, like you've said about, it's your cricket family. Yeah. So you're always chatting in the evenings once the game's finished and things, and sort of running barbecues and different ideas for fundraising. And it was just then being in meetings and sort of seeing how the actual running of the club. And having a voice there, I suppose, as a representative for the women's committee that was always running behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But just sort of being in the meetings then.
Yes. Very good. Well, it's been interesting to hear about that. And Alan, your experience was, I guess, slightly different. You had a gap away from cricket, and then came back.
That's right.
In your 60s.
Well, I was 60, yes. I played from a junior until about mid-20s. Yeah. Marriage and work took over. Yeah. I got a random text message from somebody in my son in London saying, didn't you used to play cricket at one time? Carmel, I've short for a player tomorrow to play in a friendly that was in April. I rejected about half an hour. My wife persuaded me to go back.
Keen to get you out of the house, was she?
I had no kit. It was a cold, wet, miserable day, and I got hooked again.
Very good. Well, that's wonderful. And of course, not merely hooked, but then deeply involved pretty quickly by the sound of things.
Yes. I wouldn't like to try to remember how it developed, but I became third team captain, which I really enjoyed. Yeah. We used that to develop juniors, coming from sort of junior cricket into senior cricket. That was very successful, not just under myself, but under previous captains as well. It was a great way forward for the club, and it's just built on that. And due to people moving away or resigning, I've taken on several roles now. So I'm not quite sure how long that will last, but I could do with a bit more support. But it's all enjoyable. It really is.
Great. And so when you came back to the club and you became chair, one of the things you did was put a huge emphasis on getting things going with girls' cricket.
That's right.
And that's what you're known for now as your club in that area. One of the things you're known for, anyway. It's a thing that really sort of stands out. Tell us how you did that, and why did that matter? Why was that important for the cricket club?
I think it probably started about 8 years ago as wouldn't that be nice to have an all-girls team? There's no representation in North Wales whatsoever. So every time I was doing school sessions, and I probably do about sessions.
So you're coaching in schools?
That's right.
How did you just volunteer and offer those things? Or how
Yeah,
does that
it
work?
was, yes, because it was the only way to try and attract juniors to the club that I offer direct to market effectively.
Wow.
And I went to a particular local school, Ysgol yr Esgob in Ceirwys, a small town, and several girls there became interested. I think 5 came to the club following that, and it developed from there. Initially it was a nice to have, and then you start looking for it, and you get what you look for effectively.
Yeah.
And we worked hard on promoting it to girls, and we've got a good cohort now, and we've got another group coming up at under 10s, which will have a flow through.
Yeah.
It's fantastic to see.
That's really good. And so this is built up from nothing really, from your idea. So tell me, what was the hardest thing about getting things going? Because you sound that you must have taken the initiative quite a lot yourself for that initial step.
It was just a case of persevering.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not being obsessive about it, but being conscious of it when you're doing sessions to target that you're speaking to the girls, that you are encouraging them by choosing them to be an important part of the sessions, using them to do examples before we started, to do some demonstrations. And the girls that we've taken on board now, they are so enthusiastic. I mean, they'll go on a Sunday now and they'll do 2 hours on Pathway. There's 5 girls doing that. We run our own indoor sessions. An hour. They start an hour after the girls return from Pathway, and they straight back with us training for an hour again. Yeah. So they do 3 hours on a Sunday.
Well, they love it.
Oh, absolutely fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's so good.
A great influence.
Yeah. And we heard from Harv in the previous panel, who is the plays for your women's team.
That's right.
And clearly women and girls cricket is a very big thing at Carmel Cricket Club.
Yes.
Is that reflected in kind of your leadership in your committee now, or the people who coach? How has that changed in the years that you've been involved?
Well, we've now got an additional coach who's taken on the ladies' role. We share the coaching for the juniors, including the girls. We try and develop all juniors. I mean, I've had the girls recently who are only 13. I've sent them to go bowling against the under 15 boys.
Okay.
And to challenge them further.
Yeah.
Yes, and to say, look, this gets tougher. You really need to focus on improving here.
Yeah.
So they love it. They love the challenge. They've got no fear.
No.
Absolutely none at all. And I think the closest girls hardball team to us is in Chester.
Yeah.
So so we're the only one in North Wales really who pioneered that.
Yeah. Very good. Well, I did get the chance to visit last year, and it was a brilliant visit, and found it very inspiring. Sian, if I could talk to you then about your role at the cricket club, what would your sort of advice be to maybe someone who was in your position, who had connections to the club and children getting involved, about what they could offer to the actual club in terms of its running and its management? Because I guess some people may think, oh, maybe this is not for me, I don't know enough, and they may feel intimidated to get involved.
I think, your knowledge can always grow, and being families particularly, I think women within families as well is the key for, if the women are in the club, then the men are allowed to go to the club and play cricket as well, and play on a Saturday and things like that. The children enjoy playing and it's a whole family experience. So yeah, just give it a go. Definitely.
Great. And you're doing this role for a while now, so you must enjoy it. And what
I have my moments.
So why do you do it? Why do you put so much in?
It's been in my family for many years, but obviously my dad is my commitment now to him, and he passed away, and it's something that I feel I do for him, It's that's why I do it really.
Yeah.
And I have a cricket family, we holiday together, and I've got good friends from it. It's a real family feel.
So that's good, and that clearly feels very, very important, that sense of you've all mentioned the cricket family.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. And across the board as well, because I find since I've been in my role, I've met many people on like Cricket Wales particularly. There's some people within that within Cricket Wales, they are so supportive to our clubs. Yeah. They can't help enough. They're brilliant. Absolutely. They are.
That's really good. So there is help available.
Oh, it is out there.
That's good.
Definitely.
Well, that's good to know. That's really good to know. And Mumtaz, when you were talking earlier, it sounds an amazing place, your cricket club, with people from lots of different communities and backgrounds all coming together. Cricket is the shared love, I guess, the first thing. But how else do you bring people together to create a sense of belonging? So these people from maybe different faiths, different nationalities, different backgrounds. How do you bring people together?
Yeah, so for us, like we have different events. So we just don't celebrate Christmas, or we don't just celebrate Eid. We celebrate everything. So we have multi-faith, multicultural cricket club, and they are like everything. Yeah, we celebrate Eid, we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Holi, we celebrate every single event.
Is that by putting something on at the club?
Yeah, so whenever we have any like Eid is coming in like next 5 days. So once the cricket season is started, or like before the cricket season starts, we will have like small get together.
Yeah.
So whoever is available, they will come and we will have a food and just have a chit chat, and we might have a little bit of training session after or before that. So that's how we bring everyone together, and we normally it's just like to engage everyone. Like that's how we engage everyone. Like whether it's like it's a key for us basically to engage with the different things. So like even we are fasting now, so we are still playing cricket. And this is the one way we engage with the people who are not fasting.
Yeah.
So we still make them feel like, okay, you are still part of it, and we're not just like we are fasting and we don't complain, oh, we can't go and play cricket. We'll still go and play cricket with them, so they can enjoy the game as well. So yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah, like we are part of one big family, from different faiths, different cultures. Yeah, and the key for us is cricket, yeah, and that's which brings us together.
That sounds wonderful. And so clearly it's a place where people from diverse backgrounds feel very comfortable to come to. And it sounds like, from what you were telling me before we switched the cameras on, that actually quite a lot of your players, you're very good at finding players from those communities who then go on to play at a higher level. So tell us a little bit about that and how that's working out. That people feel comfortable to come and play for you, and then maybe they're discovered by the rest of cricket and by teams that are playing in the Premier Division.
Yeah. So just one example. Recently, I met one guy in the mosque. So I went there for praying, and we had an indoor league. So I met him during the prayer time, and after 10 minutes, he was playing cricket with me. And he played indoor league, and he opened the batting for us, and we won that small league, which was indoor league with the softball. So now that guy has never played, that player has never played cricket with a hard ball. So I see so much potential in him. So we put him in the right place. We trained him, and I feel so proud that when I see him, like he's going to open the batting, or where he's going to bat and how he's going to bat. There's so much potential in him, and that's how I just meet the people around, whether they are university students, whether they are just here to actually to work. So I have like a big circle, and I know people around through the cricket. And whenever someone asks, they want to join the cricket club or they want to play cricket club, the first thing they tell just go and join Britain Ferry Town Cricket Club, because they are like a social club, but they are more than a social club. They are like a family. Yeah. So we probably find like 6, 7, or 8 players every year, and they represent our first team and second team, and some of them they go and play on highest level of the cricket as well. So
that's really great. So wow, you're very good at finding the hidden gems. That's really
not
great.
Just only me. I get help from different other club members as well.
Yeah.
So they are players. Yeah, they live in Cardiff, they live in London, but they still play cricket for us.
Wow.
So we have a big not just only from South Wales. They played cricket with us. Now they moved to different cities, but they still want to play cricket.
They
for
love
us.
the community, so they still want to come. Go on, we're going to start wrapping up now.
Yeah.
And Mumtaz, while you're in full flow, tell us then what the one thing is that you would suggest to another club that they could do to help build that sense of community and that sense of belonging, even with a player base that's drawn from lots of different communities and nationalities and faiths and everything else. What's the one thing a club could do to really build that sense of community and togetherness?
So the thing is just you have to be open and honest with everyone. So you have to give the right opportunity to all the players, and that's how they will build the trust, and then this word will spread around the community through the whole cricketing circle. So it will basically bring, it's more like a trust basically. So they will say, well, this is the club, this is the people, these are the people, I need to go and get in touch with them. They will use my skills to the best level. Then one suggestion for every club from my side, you have to communicate with your league,
yes,
with your Cricket Wales and any other governing body. So as much help you get, you will improve. So I was like when I became secretary, I didn't know anything apart from logging onto the play cricket and admin side. So I learned a lot from South Wales Cricket Association. They helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Even like silly questions, don't hesitate. Just go and ask them. They will help you. And same with the Cricket Wales. Any opportunity for grants, any opportunity for getting help, don't waste a second. Go and get help. So that will help you to improve every single thing or every aspect of your cricket at the club.
Very good advice. Thanks, Mumtaz. Yeah, lots of help is available. And Sean, turning to you, particularly I'm wondering what your piece of advice would be, maybe to someone like you who's involved in a cricket club, maybe a mum with your children in the junior section. What would your advice be to someone about how they could use their skills and their energy and their talents to support and help build a cricket family at their club?
Just to become involved and sort of to go with the club community spirit. I agree with a lot of what you've said as well. To sort of and making people feel inclusive and welcome. It's all about people feeling welcome. The children come in and enjoying being a family place. We're hoping to develop our ground that are now with like a barbecue area and things, and so that people can spend the day there, and it's a place, a day out for your family, and for women to get involved.
They have lots to offer, and maybe don't know they have lots to offer, but could really make a difference. Great. Well, Alan, we'll leave the last word to you then. So tell us then, kind of what's your one piece of advice from all the many years of experience that you have that would help another cricket club to kind of create the sort of inclusive environment for girls and women in particular that you've got at your club?
If you have an aim, find a way of doing it. Usually that works out. As regards inclusivity, ensure that the girls and the ladies and the men feel it's one entity. They're not separate sections. Have events where you include everybody. Make it a social affair. We run All Stars and Dynamos. We have usually about 70 children attending each year. We have a barbecue and cakes, and it's a social evening. Parents give up their evening meal to make sure that they're there for the barbecue. And it's profitable for the club as well. But as regards inclusivity, I think it's the events really that draw people together. The club needs to feel like a family, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It does. That people feel valued. Keep the parents informed what's happening for the children. Ensure that we set up WhatsApp groups and send messages saying, look, this is what we're considering doing. And also give parents, time to time, individual feedback on their own children, as well as the junior themselves.
Very good. Well, Alan, Sean, Mumtaz, thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us this evening. It's been really fascinating listening to you and hearing about the changes that you're making at your clubs. And I'm sure that will have been really useful to you watching this at home as well. We hope you've enjoyed this and found it useful, and some of the ideas that we've discussed here will also help you to make sure that your cricket club is an inclusive place and there are great cricket opportunities for everyone. So that's pretty much wrapping up for now. remember, as we've said, there is lots of help available from Cricket Wales. And I encourage you to follow Cricket Wales on social media or look at the website for more information there, which will help you and your club on your cricket journey. But for now, thank you very much indeed for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we wish you a great season ahead from everyone here at Cricket Wales.